You two can swim into a fridge at the bottom of the quarry and die.
It just seems like it would kill you to have to shit out a diamond.
That's cinema, baby.
Running a temporal pincer movement. What? Pincer movement. But not in space. In time. Myślę, było messing up. No,
It's season 17 of The Good, the Pod, and the Ugly, and we're still doing 4x4 hacks. Which only one of the last of the four directors that we're going to be covering, affectionately known as hacks. And we're in the last, final stretch? Final heat?
Yeah. Final two laps.
Yeah, as we come down to the final two Yates films that we'll be covering this season. The first of which this week, The Hot Rock. You're hearing Thomas.
I'm Ken.
And I'm Ryan.
And we're joined this week by Shannon.
What up, dudes?
Hey, Shannon.
Hello.
Shannon, is going to do a book report for us for the book The Hot Rock is based on.
Oh, wonderful. I am prepared for that.
More so than the Lost City of Z, maybe?
Yeah, you finished this one, right?
I did.
Okay, good. So this is our third of four Peter Yates. I chose Peter Yates. Listen back to our Bullet episode for my definition of hacks. We first paired Bullet, his most famous movie, I think, and then Kroll, maybe a low light of his career.
You've never seen Kroll? Shannon's shaking her head here in the bunker.
Well, unless it's a documentary about Nick Kroll, which I also haven't seen.
Thomas made the same joke.
Dope. Great minds think alike.
Yeah, now we're, and also before we started this 4x4, we reran the Friends of Eddie Coyle episode, which is probably Yates's best regarded film, most famous being Bullet. And now we are doing The Hot Rock.
Yeah.
Pairing it with Breaking Away.
Yeah, 1972's The Hot Rock. And that same year, covered previously on this podcast, you could have watched Shampoo, which I have a note here, also a comedy, ? Your Vice is a Locked Room and Only I Have the Key.
Oh, yeah.
The Sergio Martino film. Fat City.
Wow, what a great year.
And I believe Eastwood's first directed movie.
Wow.
Misty. Play Misty for me. And he would also play Dirty Harry that year. Oh, and not to forget Spielberg, Duel.
Holy shit. Well, 73 is a banner year for...
72.
72?
Yeah.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Not 73. I watched the wrong Hot Rock. I watched the one from 73 with Gary Coleman.
Oh, boy. So going around the horn, was this your first time watching The Hot Rock? Shannon?
It was indeed the first time.
Okay. Ryan?
Yeah.
Of course, my first time. This is not an easy movie to find, though it is available through the Multnomah County Library.
Shannon?
Ken, your first time.
It is. This is the one of the four films that I hadn't. Well, I thought I'd seen Kroll, but I guess I hadn't. But Hot Rock was one I've always wanted to see because of its genesis from a Parker novel to a comedy novel and then a movie. So I was very excited to include it.
Yeah. Because I guess the word hot has different connotations and not all of them have the same type of criminal American connotation. This had alternate titles. So in Britain, you would watch How to Steal a Diamond in 4 Uneasy Lessons.
That is a very, very...
Rolls right off the tongue.
Very clear title. You know exactly what you're getting into.
And then in France, it's Les Quatre Malfrats. So it's like the four crooks or the four thugs. So it's a different take on it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this is all based off of a Donald Westlake book. Had you read the book before, Ken?
No, I have not gotten into the Dortmunders. Very much into the Parkers.
For some reason, I thought I had read some Dortmunder. Is that how you say it? Dortmunder? Dortmunder?
Yep.
But I had mistaken that for just a Grofeld book.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Shannon, you read the book.
I did. Yeah, I read it last weekend, and it was an easy read. I was a little worried that it was going to be a bit too dry and masculine for my taste.
Which you didn't finish the Axe.
No, I read the first chapter of The Axe and was like, this is too dry and masculine for me. I was not in the right mood for that. But this one, I was like, I'm going to do it. And it actually got my attention, and I had no trouble reading it on the hammock in the backyard.
Awesome.
Quite different than the movie.
Kind of. I actually felt like it was I think the book is a little corny, and I think they were faithful to that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying the reaction yet. I'm just noting that as a fact. But I looked at the table of contents when I started the book, and it's phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4. And it just keeps going. And I thought, what is going to happen in this book with all these phases? And then you find out. Not a lot of women in this book. It took till page 18 on my version before a woman was mentioned as existing in this world of men, and her name was Honeybun.
Well, the first few pages are prison, so there's not a lot of women in a mill facility.
True. That's true.
But to note, there's 6 phases in the book.
Yeah. And not in the movie.
Not in the movie, no.
And we were watching, so not to skip ahead, but as we were watching the film, I got very anxious because I said they're spending way too much time on him getting out of prison. We have 6 phases to get to. How are we going to do this? It was kind of started off with a very slow pace, and they did indeed skip a bit from the book.
Yeah, like the last 2 phases,
and add a phase. They replaced the phase, I should say.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, it'd probably be easier to talk about that maybe after the plot summary.
I think it would be.
But before we get there, this isn't the first of course, isn't the first Westlake that's been adapted.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's under Richard Stark or this, but there's going to be some other films that I didn't even realize were films at the time, including like a Christopher Lambert movie called Why Me from 1990.
Mm-hmm.
Or Jimmy the Kid, 1982, with Gary Coleman.
That's the one I watched.
Oh.
You watched that one?
No, I did not.
Oh.
And there's a George C. Scott one that came out a year after this one, isn't it?
2 years, yeah. So this came out in 72, and Bank Shot came out in 74.
Woo. Which also has a ridiculously comedy-laced poster. One of those wacky Mad Magazine type posters that they used to have back then.
Yeah, I guess the one that it would have been in my lifetime, barely. Martin Lawrence and Danny DeVito, or in a movie called What's the Worst That Could Happen from 2001. It's like the Twin Towers of this movie. I don't never forget.
Yeah. So between those two and Gary Coleman, there's a thread running through these adaptations of Little People. Yeah, Westlake movies have not done well by Westlake as far as quality. I'm sure he got paid for all of them, but
and then this is a William Goldman adaptation.
Yeah,
so, I mean, he adapts his own stuff like Magic, Princess Bride, and Marathon Man, but he would have done Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid as a screenplay before this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was great at adapting these types of. He also did Harper with Paul Newman in the late '60s, which is a fantastic adaptation. Very similar in tone, the finished film anyway, I think.
Tone to the book or tone to this movie?
Tone to this movie.
Huh.
Yeah, I think that's a fair comparison.
This is considered a comedy. And the book, I think, is a little bit closer to comedy at times, I guess, because I get more characters and like conflict.
Well, it has jokes in it, but I would say it's like jokes in the form of like, well, I'm too cool to tell a joke, but if I was going to, this would be the joke I would tell. And that's sprinkled throughout with like little asides and dialogue.
Well, okay, so there's a character that's cut that we'll talk about in a moment who's playing with a train set. And he gets the phone call, like the recruitment phone call. Mm-hmm. And he turns over to his wife and he goes, "Honey, how are we doing with the bank account?" And she says, not very much money in it. And he's like, "Okay, we're going to take the job." And so that's kind of the humor, like this kind of casualness, maybe.
Well, in the first of that chapter, it says toot toot. Says Roger Chefwick. That's the character's name.
He's a flatulent
and
person.
And he says toot toot a bunch because he's playing with this model train set that he loves. But there's a lot of toot toot, which I thought was very funny. They took that out of the movie.
They took the toots out.
Yeah.
It was a PG movie. But
we
I guess
even discussed who plays Dortmunder in this movie.
We have not.
And it's Robert Redford, arguably in his prime, physical prime. Gorgeous man. And George Segal, who apparently was born looking like he was 50.
Yeah. He was like, you have like Benjamin Button, you have the rest of us, and you have him. Right. He's just born that age. He never gets younger or older.
I always know him as the ne'er-do-well father in Look Who's Talking, which is a movie I watched many times.
Oh, he's the architect or whatever? Okay.
Yeah. Classy reference, I'm sure, for you guys.
Yeah.
Maybe, because I guess I actually went through and was like, okay, this is a comedy. What are the comedies of the 70s? Like, how does this actually slot in?
I think what it reminded me of that era is the Anderson tapes, the Sidney Lumet movie with Sean Connery.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
tonally it is extremely similar. They're both kind of just funny heists, and they're very much inspiration for like Soderbergh's take on it with the Ocean's movies.
Okay, I mean, because I guess the year after you get The Sting and The Long Goodbye, right?
Yeah,
and I think somewhere between those two, you might like if you take. Well, that's gonna sound like a reaction. Sure, if you take out some of the joy of The Sting,
mm-hmm.
And you have kind of if The Long Goodbye is a comedy, then that's the comedy in this,
huh?
Okay, maybe.
Well, I mean, what is the reactions? But
like,
I was laughing throughout the entire movie.
Oh, so this is for you? Okay.
Yes. I am the target audience.
Yeah, that'll help me out because I was trying to picture like is it situational comedy? What's going on? And usually like comedy touches on something that's kind of sensitive in the culture and then has it askew so that you can laugh at it and kind of process it. And the only thing I could get out of this was like kind of like a situational comedy of a frustrated male, right? Like a frustrated dude trying to do his job. And I was thinking, man, if Schumacher's Falling Down came out in the 70s, it would have been the laugh riot of the decade.
I think the 90s comp for this movie is Sneakers.
I had it does have the exact same energy and tone. I have the same thought, Ryan.
Redford playing the same part. It's the same movie.
It does feel like Robert Redford, there is a through line between all he needed to do was be taking something for his stomach in Sneakers, and it would have been the same character.
Yeah.
You two can swim into a fridge at the bottom of the quarry and die. That is terrible.
Well, I guess we know what you feel about this film.
Yeah, we're not reactions yet.
I'm just passionate about Sneakers.
I rate Sneakers and Hot Rock exactly the same.
I never agree with Ryan. It's so funny. You say the craziest stuff, man.
I am going to go one further than you, Ryan. I prefer, and I think this is due to the time it was made and Yates's direction, which we'll talk about. I prefer Hot Rock to Sneakers, and I love them both. I think they're both fun.
Oh my God! Okay, well let's go. Who's got plot?
I can take the plot.
Okay.
All right. Phase one.
Yeah, I'm not going to break it up into phases. I'll just glide over some of the plot. Redford plays John Dortmunder, as previously said, a thief who gets out of prison at the beginning of the movie. He's met outside the prison in comical fashion by his brother-in-law, played by George Segal. Segal recruits Dortmunder to do a diamond heist at I can't remember what the museum is. They're going to steal a diamond from a local museum for a African diplomat who thinks that the diamond, which was stolen by colonists and taken to New York at some point or another, he thinks that the diamond belongs to his country. He also makes it clear that several other African countries think it's their diamond. So he hires Redford and Segal to steal the diamond so that he can bring it back to his country in Africa. And they recruit a couple of their friends. One's a driver, one's the technical guy. And together they rob the diamond. And then it gets taken from them. They got to rob it back. They eventually rob it 4 times before getting away with it.
Yeah. The one guy who looks like Sacha Baron Cohen's dad is the one that's caught at the museum, swallows a diamond, and then that leads to them having to break him out and then find the diamond, and then the diamond's gone because his dad, played by Zero Mostel, who is a lawyer, has already taken it. And then they have to get into a safe deposit box. And I think the 4 phases of the movie, right?
I think that's the one that I thought was cute, right? Paul Sand.
Yeah.
The one who gets locked in, who's in a movie that I didn't realize was a movie called The Second Coming of Suzanne, starring Sandra Locke.
Whoa. He's quite good in this movie.
Yeah, surprisingly more.
I had the same thought. I looked him up thinking, oh, this guy has to have been in a ton of movies because he's great. And nope.
And then there was that cop whenever they break into the police station who does a pretty good job.
Yeah.
He'd be in Death Wish afterwards.
Great ACAB movie for sure.
Yeah, Christopher Guest gets his first credited role in this movie.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't recognize him.
Yeah, I think Ryan glossed over one of the thefts they have to do is
let's go through the
police
stages.
Department. Yeah, phases.
Phase 1, steal the diamond, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an emerald in the book.
It is.
I'll say that. And also in the book, it's in a coliseum at a special exhibition, not in a museum. So they changed that.
Yeah, and getting out of prison. And I thought this movie, I guess one of the things I really like about 70s movies typically is that they can talk about malaise and how difficult it is to get a job sometimes, or just financial woes. And this book is seeped in financial woes because getting out of prison, he was supposed to collect some money, but the warden cock blocks him in a way.
Yeah, he sold his cell to another inmate, and he was supposed to collect $300 on the way out. But the warden was, wanted to talk about how he was a transformed, rehabilitated man. I'm going to walk you out personally, and so he doesn't get to get his $300. So he's kind of
automatically so off with on the wrong foot.
Yeah. But they faithfully recreate the whole car driving up.
Can't get his windows down.
Which I feel like worked better in the book. When you actually see it live, it's just I think strange.
A little bit like a superhero movie at some level, especially maybe the first X-Men, the Singer stuff, or maybe a little bit before. But if you read something in the comics, it kind of makes sense. The uniform, everybody's outfits, okay, yeah, it kind of makes sense on the page. And then seeing it enacted was very, very strange at times. But yeah, phase 1 is that they steal the emerald, he swallows it. Phase 2 is breaking out, just like in the
breaking him out
of prison that he was released from in the first scene.
Oh, the same prison you're saying?
Yeah.
And then third, because he doesn't have the rock on him,
he hid it in the police station
when it was booked.
So then they get a helicopter from the major. It's the major in the book, the doctor in the movie, right?
Yeah.
To break into the police station. I like that scene. I love that Murch was so excited to fly that helicopter.
Yeah.
And they're all so nervous, Ugh.
He's got that little bit of kid joy. Yeah. And also that the cop is it's the same thing in the book of he forgets that the phones are cut. So he's like, the phones aren't working. He's like, oh no. And he's like, oh, we got teletype or whatever. Okay, great. Call this person, see what's on. He's like, oh, the phones aren't. And so the same calamity and idea of being heroes against the Revolutionary Army that's coming to take over the movie that's playing at his time. Yeah, that's definitely in the book.
And because I'm ignorant, I went to public school here in the U.S. I don't know exactly when the the Cuba Missile Crisis was happening. But in the book, they mention that they think it's the Cubans who are attacking the police station, coming in, bombing not from the roof, but from outside.
It takes place in New York in the book as well, right? Okay,
so,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because that'd be different with like Florida, which is a little closer than Cuba. I'm not sure. I also went to public school.
So in this,
there.
they think it's the hippies, right? It's not Cubans attacking the police station. It's hippies.
It's revolutionaries.
Yeah.
Which is also in, surprisingly, Yates's earlier film, right? The Friends of Eddie Coyle, when he was buying the guns.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That would be the year later.
Oh, a year later. Okay.
And in the book, when they break into the cell, it's an old pervert who's in the cell, and he's like, you came for me? You came to let me out? And he is such a pervert that he has pretend pant legs belted to his suspenders, but he has nothing on, no pants. And so he has a trench coat on with these fake pant legs so he can flash people.
Oh my God.
And they're like basically like, yeah, I think you should probably stay here. And they lock him back in the cell.
Which I always thought there was going to be like a flasher at some point in my life, just from like growing up on 70s, 80s media.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, there are flashers if you're a woman. Yeah, I've been flashed.
You've been flashed?
Yes. It's out there.
I've seen some very unpleasant things near a few childcare centers in my time. So.
Oh shit! Okay.
Whoa, this got really dark really fast.
Well, I was just saying, flashers are out there. I've seen them. Normally, they are not just showing you their penis. Normally, they're doing something with it at the same time.
Yeah, I think it's the difference between a flasher and a streaker is the amount of momentum behind them and the intent.
So this movie is...
Okay. That's the third one. The fourth one, they have to get it out of the safety deposit box, right?
Zero Mostel's safe.
In the movie.
Yeah.
Well, but what about the elevator scene? Is that before or after?
That's part of, because he can't figure out how to do it because he has to. He can't pose as Zero Mostel. Who else has that hair? And they know him too well. So he finally comes up with the hypnotist.
But why? And Zero Mostel was not willing to go in and get it himself and give it to them?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
It seems like that would have been the easiest thing, but just to like force him through some sort of like hold his wife hostage or something, and then
or his son.
Well, they already proved. They tried. They couldn't. He already knew that they couldn't go through with it because of the scene with the elevator. Cool elevator, by the way. You could fit a whole truck on that thing.
Yeah.
So that's different in the book. The fourth scene, phase 4 would be different in the book, and then 5 is no, there's only 4, isn't there?
What are the other phases in the book that were cut out?
Well, there's a pretty major change in that. In the book, it's not what's his name's Greenberg's dad who double crosses them. It's just the lawyer that Greenberg has hired. So they made a big change that it's his like father who's betraying him, and this is just the lawyer who's just a shitty lawyer who wants money.
And the George Segal character isn't a locksmith in the book.
No, Roger Chefwick, he's the lock man. And I think Kelp is just sort of like the guy who's organizing everybody and sweet talking people.
Yeah, he's like the who's Parker's facilitator?
Redford? Oh,
yeah.
Okay. So what's crazy in this book, side note for all of you Westlake fans, Greenberg is outed as Groford at the end of this book.
You know what? That's what I thought. And I said, did they change his name? But then the movie went on and it seems like he wasn't.
So in the book, it's because he had to change his identity after he escaped from jail. He basically had to like make a new identity because now he's a wanted man who's escaped.
Oh, so
that has a cover name.
So he becomes one of Westlake's most flexible characters throughout Parker Dortmunder in his own books. Wow.
Keith Stanford, right?
Yeah.
So Prosker has gone into the jail. He's gotten the jewel. And then he has checked himself into an insane asylum in upstate New York. So they have to break into the insane asylum to get Prosker.
Get the lawyer, Prosker.
Which they do. Sorry, Prosker is the lawyer. And so they do this they go out and scope it out and they see there's a railroad track that's kind of like rusted over and going into the grounds of the insane asylum. So they ask their benefactor for a locomotive, not a huge locomotive, a small one. They truck in and Murch positions it, puts it back on the track, and they crash the fence which is electrified. And so they're wearing scuba gear, jump out of the train.
Oh my God.
Everybody in the insane asylum is going, oh my God, because they think they're seeing the craziest shit because they're having delusions. And then they grab Prosker and hightail it out of there on the locomotive.
And then you have
Sounds like a great
elevator
set piece.
scene. Wait a minute, but like basically where they're like, how do we get the diamond now? Like we've roughed him up. He's not giving it to us. And then they decide to get a hypnotist.
Yeah, there's no elevator scene. They're just at the Major's house, just talking to Prosker. Yeah. But anyway, so they kind of changed up. I feel like it was a smart budgetary idea to change out the locomotive going through an insane asylum for an elevator in a warehouse.
But in the book, the Major has like, it's this escalating thing of, okay, cool. You need a van to break into, or you need a car, right? To like break into the museum. Okay. Now you need a van to break into the prison.
A truck. Yeah.
A big truck to hide the other car in. Then you need a helicopter. Then you need a train.
Yeah.
And then, okay, you have a hypnotist. And then at the end, different ending, the Major in the doctor, in the movie The Doctor, gets the diamond.
Yeah, and he takes off to the airport. They go to the airport and confront him. The Major basically says, I don't have enough money. I'm not going to give you any money, but here, take the emerald in the book and I'll find the way to pay you. And then Dortmunder goes out onto the tarmac of the airport because he's getting chased, and he gets on a plane, flies to Pittsburgh, jumps out of the plane.
Like a private plane, not like a commercial,
plane,
like a one person or like a 3-person plane, but just, and the whole time the co-pilot's asleep, drunk maybe. And then, they land, and the co-pilot wakes up. He's like, why are we landing in the middle of the highway? And what was it, Pittsburgh, you said?
Outside of Pittsburgh.
Yeah, outside of Pittsburgh.
And then he goes and meets with the ambassador of the other African country who wants this, or they've just stolen the jewel from, and he makes a deal with that ambassador. And that's the end of the book.
Yeah, so basically the deal is they will, I'm going to give you the real one. They're going to say that it's not real and that they have the real one, and they're going to figure out that it's fake, and this guy's just completely fucked. The Major.
Yeah, that's right, because there's fake ones out there.
Yeah.
Okay, so they condense a lot and excise a few things, but
it also seemed like a big, I didn't know, like Greenberg's dad betraying him and them being Jewish characters, I felt like maybe a little problematic.
Well, the screenwriter's last name is Goldman, so I think we're okay.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah, I didn't pick up on that, but I if I squint, I can see what you're saying.
I love Greenberg's hair before he escapes, and then he keeps trying to flatten it to disguise himself.
Is that what he's doing? He's slicking it down?
It's very funny.
For that?
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, he's got like a Jew fro, and then he tries to like slick it down. And
but he could just.
It looks like Adam Driver on that day, like wet Adam Driver.
Haircut, though, right? You could just get a haircut.
Yeah, it's funnier that way.
But hey, at least this dry masculine book. In the movie, you introduce 2 female characters, right?
Yeah, Merch's mom, who loves listening to the racetrack.
Oh, actually, that's in the book, right? She's in the book.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes,
I'm saying in the movie you flipped it. You have 2 female characters that aren't in the book.
Yeah, the sister and Miasma.
Yeah, the hypnotist.
Hypnotist.
Why wouldn't you just hire a hypnotist for every job? If you just have to give them a $5,000 cut and they make everything happen.
Oh, man, that's like, why don't the Avengers just call in Thor and Hulk every time?
I did think they sell it that Redford didn't really think it was going to work. He seemed very nervous walking into the
when he says
safety deposit boxes.
Banana stand?
Yeah.
Banana stand? Kind of.
Yeah. Great band name.
Yes.
Show over.
I think he sold that.
Mm-hmm.
He did that. That whole sequence is so simple, but so suspenseful. They don't keep cutting back to the 2 guys in the car laughing as they're going towards the bank, which I think a lesser filmmaker would have maybe copped to. I was stressed out the entire time he was in there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was so happy when he got out, and then they pull up, and then they get in the car, and they're all laughing. They drive away in that ugly car.
It definitely has like a 70s ending.
Yeah.
As opposed to the book.
If I may, before we get to reactions, ask a kind of broad question. So when I read a book before I see a movie, and this is obviously a personal thing, I always like the movie less. So for Shannon and Thomas, I want to ask, when you read a book before you see a movie, do you often enjoy the movie, or do you think those two things cause any tension for you in watching the film?
Good question.
I mean, I think the standard phrase is the book is always better.
Yeah.
Right? Like, the book was better. I don't think that has to be the case. Like The Prestige, I like the book a lot, and the movie is the deviations that the movie decides to take don't lessen that in the least. It's like it's both its own thing, and you can see where like it's mostly aligned with the book. So I don't like it's maybe 90% of the book, but a book's always going to be a different experience than a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for me, I have such a visual, like my mind is creating visuals for everything I'm reading. So I have all these pictures of these scenes and the characters, and so sometimes when I watch the movie, it does sort of feel like the interpretation just doesn't match with what I enjoy. But I just am trying to rack my brain for
the acts you didn't really like all that much, which is pretty fun. But I could understand the difference between that and the park movie you saw, right?
Yeah, but I saw the movie first.
Okay. Good. And the name of that movie again?
I don't remember. That's with an S, I think.
For me, Shannon, it's exactly what you said. If I read a book, then I get pictures in my mind for everything I'm reading. And then as soon as I see the movie, even if the movie is good, I'll be comparing the two. And in fact, if I wait like 2 years and then I see the movie and I don't have those images fresh, then I can normally receive the movie as its own thing. But it's a personal thing where as soon as I get a picture for what it should be in my mind, I have a really hard time deviating from there.
Yeah, I also think it helps if like there's a large difference between the two, because like The Axe was written in 97, whenever there was like we start to have some more layoffs and globalization, and then No Other Choice, the Park Chan-wook movie is last year,
right?
And so you see like he's able to add like AI into it and even more automation.
Oh yeah, the last scene is so crazy. I don't know if you guys have seen this. The
No Other Choice.
No Other Choice.
One of my favorite films from last year. It's phenomenally good. Anyhow, I think one big difference, of course, between a book and a movie. In the book here, you get different perspectives more so than in the movie. Like the movie doesn't really deviate from the Dortmunder character.
Yeah.
And in the book, by chapter 4, you're jumping over to another perspective. And so I was a little surprised by that from Westlake, because like if I'm reading a Stark book, you do like one perspective all in one character, and then you jump to the second section, and then the third section you go back to that character.
Yeah.
It's very formulaic, but that formula actually is like what is part of the appeal. Like, oh, how is he going to, this is his 19th book. How is he going to do it this time?
Weirdly, one thing that they rarely attempt to adapt in the Parker adaptations.
Yeah, I think actually you do. Like the only successful Parker adaptation, the Mel Gibson movie Payback.
No, that's terrible.
The outfit.
I would say point blank in the outfit. Yeah. Outfit's probably the best. It's not a very good adaptation as far as following the plot, but as far as tone and capturing the character, it's definitely the best.
Oh, let's not forget the Jason Statham film.
Oh, Parker?
Yeah.
That's the title, Oh, Parker.
In Ireland when they released it. Yeah. They wouldn't understand it was a last name otherwise. Yeah, I think that the book is definitely richer as far as that. Like you have the major and the doctor in the movie, he's like learning to play pool, because like there's just like little touches, and you can really have like the rule of threes, or like you can have more comedy just by repetition and knowing other people's perspectives and how those are not aligning.
Well, and they do this a bit in the movie, but Murch, he always talks about how he arrived, what roads he took. And they have that as a recurring, bit of his character. He shows up, he says, "Oh, I took the turnpike and then this bridge." And
yeah, that's pretty funny.
Without comparing the quality of the movies, when you guys describe this as a comedy, I trip on it a little bit. I guess for me, the comedy is similar to in something like Raiders of the Lost Ark, where this is like a fun action heist movie, and then there are some jokes in it that make it, for some of us, anyways, chuckle-worthy. But it's not, I don't think it's trying to be funny first and foremost, I guess.
I think that's, Yates plays it straight-faced, and I don't think it gets to the comedic absurd heights as something like the original The Italian Job. Another really funny, great heist movie from the late 60s. But this is of a piece.
Mark Wahlberg in it.
Oh my God. Yeah, you're right. The terrible remake by James Gray's brother, F. Gary Gray.
F. Gary?
Yeah.
Brothers from Another Mother.
Yeah. That's an absurd movie that I think this movie and Robbery, Yates's film he made before Bullet, definitely come from that school of shooting it straight. Like a docudrama.
Yeah. Well, and I thought a lot about Robbery watching the Hot Rock 2, particularly because...
Wait, the one that came out the year after?
They made another one?
The Hot Rock 2 is what I just heard.
The Hot Rock as well. Robbery is such a scrupulous, by the book heist movie where they spend a lot of time getting the crew together. They spend a ton of time planning the heist, and then it's all very clockwork from there. And it seems like Yates' attempt to make this more fun in part was to get all of the planning out of the movie, get the crew together in 5 minutes, and let the escalating absurdity of the heist be the engine for both the tension and the humor.
Yeah, I don't think he ever leans too far in playing it for lead paint laughs. No one ever bugs their eyes at the camera. Well, Zero Mostel gets pretty close.
He gets pretty close.
But that's Zero Mostel. I mean, he could be, doing Death of a Salesman, and it would probably be turned into a farce.
I think there are couple scenes that come to mind where I would kind of, argue a bit there. Like the car scene when Kelp shows up at the beginning where he's chasing Robert Redford. I feel like that's very true to the book, but I think it's very silly. And then also when they're, when they're outside the museum and they're trying to get all the guards to hold the guy in traction, Greenberg in traction, so that they can't go in and investigate. That's kind of silly too.
It's hilarious.
And then, so anyway, I think they did a good job of kind of interpreting some of the corniness from the book into these scenes.
Have you had somebody check the environment, like just the atmospheric conditions?
No, I'm telling you,
is there a gas leak?
I think Yates at his best, and the least hack part of him is when he is so interested in like process and procedure and how things are done, that I think a movie like this, that plot wise, I think it's a really good script that could have been so over the top and dumb with blue screens when they're in the helicopter, bug eyes, and stupid shit that he shoots it like, hey guys, like the bullet. He's like, hey, this really happened, And I think him at his best in some of these movies I watched in the 70s, I think it really plays into that. It plays into his strengths that he loses as we go into the 80s and the 90s, etc.
Yeah, I love their reactions in the helicopter. I thought it was just perfect
and in the car as well, whenever they're driving into the back of the semi, Knight Rider style.
Yeah.
Because they're really in there. It's not like there's not a backdrop with pre-filmed stuff on it. I think that's what Yates gets out of it.
Yeah, and kind of picking up on what Ken is saying, I think even with those really goofy scenes that you point out, Shannon, I think the direction is pretty straightforward, and it's the characters and the absurdity of the situation that are supposed to make it funny. It's the fake doctor telling the cops how to hold this guy in traction. That's supposed to be funny, not the fact that the cops are doing that to the guy.
I appreciate the construction of that sentence. It's supposed to be funny, and so
right, because I didn't.
Funny,
obviously, we have some disagreements, so I didn't want to be presumptuous. That
got it, yeah.
As to
because I also think when they land the helicopter on the wrong roof, it's also supposed to be funny when they meet those old men.
Those old men are hysterical.
It's an actual helicopter on an actual roof, and they're putting cameras in. No, I'm saying that in another movie, it's done cheaply, and they land on it, and suddenly you have a blue screen behind them.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about. Or when they're in the helicopter, like I think Murphy's War that came out the year before. I was so disappointed when Peter O'Toole is like in the little airplane and it switches from all this realistic stuff to a blue screen. And this movie, when they're in the helicopter, it's like hey, they're in the helicopter. It's there's no fakery. It makes it feel grounded in a way that is really difficult to make a silly movie like this feel naturalistic and grounded. And I think does a great job.
In another director's hands, this could play like Around the World in 80 Days.
Exactly.
I guess that's a comedy.
Yes, that's a famous comedy from when I was a youth in the 1960s.
Or it's a mad world.
Yeah.
There you go.
Ryan, you were a youth in the 1960s?
We have a bit about how Thomas is 12 and Ken and I are 90.
Yeah. Okay, supposed to be funny.
Is it time for reactions?
Yeah, let's do some.
We've been reacting. We already said it's as good as Sneakers.
that is so.
We've universally agreed. This is the end of the episode. That the Hot Rock is as good as Sneakers.
This is the podcast.
Stay tuned next week for Breaking Away. Bye.
Well, just to clarify, I think Ken, you like it the most. I like it and Sneakers a little bit less than you do. And then it sounds like, Thomas and Shannon, would you say this is a bad movie? Did you think it was okay? Where are we at?
We didn't watch it just by ourselves. We had the finest film critic in all of Portland, soon to be leaving, with us.
Yeah, my husband Jocelyn also watched it, and he said he was falling asleep. So yeah, he didn't love it. I guess I don't know if we have to compare it to Sneakers, but I would say I prefer Sneakers to this one. And I
prefer even the Asylum release Shoes more than this movie.
So you did not enjoy this picture?
I thought it was fine. I guess I wouldn't watch it again. And I might have liked a different movie that we're going to chat about on next week's episode better. I didn't like the pacing of this movie in certain ways. I felt kind of stressed out by how long they were spending on certain things, afraid that they wouldn't have time to do the rest of the plot, which is a very silly concern because obviously they've worked all this out.
They run out of movie?
I didn't want them to run out of movie. For instance, when they were breaking into the glass case in the museum and he was spending about 20 minutes complaining about his self-worth while he was working on the fifth lock, and I was like, man, what the fuck are you doing?
That was great. Robert Redford goes over there and gives him a little pep talk, and
there's no time for this.
It's funny.
No, it's not. It bothered me, but I loved Murch. I loved Greenberg. I thought they were both really fun to spend time with.
I do think, for me, I definitely see some problems with the movie, and it's 100% the four main characters and actors that make this a worthwhile watch. Redford in particular is so charismatic and is doing so much acting with so little dialogue that he really carries me through. But yeah, all four, particularly Murch and Greenberg, are just great fun, and I would heist with those guys anywhere. And
Redford never resorts to the stomach stuff. Is very subtle. He never holds his stomach and goes, ugh, puffs out his cheek, bugs out his eyes.
You really don't like bugged out eyes.
Well, no, I think that is something that a movie overplaying its hand and saying, "Hey, this is a comedy. Look at how funny this guy's is looking because his stomach is upset."
It's not in the book. Just upset stomach.
No.
Yeah, that's something that was put into the movie.
That's one of my favorite things in the movie.
I like when he gives Segal the candy.
Uh-huh.
Oh, and he's like, "Wait, this candy's terrible."
Yeah.
I think my appreciation for this, because I did not read the book, but I was familiar with Westlake's Parker books, seeing it as a flip side of those books. And part of my enjoyment was just imagining how this started as one of those and then kind of morphed into something completely different. Just increased my enjoyment of it. So I'm glad I didn't read the book.
Yeah, I think that I think the best way of if you're going to have to watch this movie for some reason, and like in Guantanamo or something, and they're trying to get confessions out of you, and they're showing this. If for some reason, I think the better way of experiencing this would be to watch the film, and if you like the film enough, then read the book. Because I do think that one of the problems I had, I think Shannon said a little bit of this, is that I knew where the book goes, and I was like, oh, I'm really interested to see these things,
Mm-hmm.
and then they don't happen, and then the changes are all there to I guess simplify or to have like instant family, because they're not brother-in-laws in the book. Also in the book, one of the things that I really like, again, going to like just economics of stuff, they all have like side jobs and hustles that they're doing because they're not making enough money on this. And remember, they lose the diamond, they're off the payroll. And so Dortmunder's going door to door selling encyclopedia subscriptions and gets bit by a dog or has a dog chase him.
That's a much longer movie, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is. It's a much longer and a very different like focus for the movie, I guess.
That's why I was stressed at the beginning, because it took them so long to get out of the jail. I'm like, there's no way they're going to be able to get to all these things.
That's like a page in the book, and it has like other stuff going on, like renting out his room, and then this movie spends a lot of time with him leaving the jail, and then a lot of time with the car going crazy trying to hit him. So this movie has some padding, of course, but I think if you like the movie, then I guess give the book a read.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I guess, but the way I cleaned it up in my head was that for me, the hot rock ruined a perfectly mediocre book. So I have no reason to read other Dortmunder books. I didn't really grab me. It's not all that interesting. And I'm even less into the movie.
I think maybe a better version of this movie is Walter Matthau and Hopscotch. I don't know if you guys have seen that one, but Matthau, it's probably 5 years later. I think it was made in the late 70s.
Isn't that like a spy movie?
Yeah, well, he gets fired from the CIA, and in retaliation, he decides to write his memoir. Mm-hmm. And in part, he's fired because the CIA thinks he might be a Russian spy. So he sends pages from his memoir to both the KGB and the CIA. The KGB wants the book because they want to know what the CIA is doing, and the CIA wants the book because they don't want the KGB to know what they've been doing. And so both the Russians and the Americans chase Walter Murch around Europe.
Yeah, and Brad Pitt's he's into like fitness, right? And Frances McDormand's single, dating, right? I've seen this movie.
Yes, Burn After Reading is kind of an inferior Hopscotch. It's true.
Hopscotch is pretty good.
Yeah.
If you're a Matthau head. I'm a Matthau head. We've talked a little bit about Yates, but William Goldman was having quite a decade here in the 70s, wasn't he?
Well, yeah.
I mean, right after following Butch Cassidy, he did this movie, Stepford Wives. He wrote the book and the script for Marathon Man, All the President's Men, the book and the adaptation of Magic, which we've covered here.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good. And he released 3 or 4 books during novels at that time as well. So this was kind of his zenith as far as productivity. And I think his adaptations, this and Harper, which is from one of Ross MacDonald's early Lou Archer novels, The Moving Target. I think it's really good at cleaning it up for film and having kind of a fun tone. Fun? Is that a good word for it? They're fun. It's not too dark slapstick comedy. It's not lead paint comedy, but it's breezy. Breezy is something that we don't aspire to in films anymore.
And there's not enough magicians. I was upset. I'm sorry, hypnotists.
Mm-hmm.
I was a little upset about that until the Now You See Me franchise started. And I was like, okay, now we have the right ratio of hypnotists to movies that we used to have.
Well, I'm okay with breezy, not the movie breezy, but the tone. It's really I think it's really hard to achieve. I think so many movies work to achieve it, and most don't. I was watching before we started recording Goldman and Yates's terrible reuniting on a film called The Year of the Comet with Penelope Miller and Tim Daly.
Yeah.
That aims for kind of a breezy, caper type tone, and it is completely tone deaf and unwatchable. It just proves how hard it is, I think, to reach this kind of fun, like Sneakers.
Sneakers is so much fun.
Without making a value comparison, the Sneakers thing is it's just Robert Redford is the serious guy who leads a team of wacky criminals on a heist. I mean, it's a very that might be a better version, but it's a very similar setup.
I don't think Sneakers happens without this.
Friend, and they were betrayed, and he has some guilt, and it has Toblerone. What's the monotone guy from Groundhog Day, and also Single White Female?
We're not denigrating Sneakers, Thomas. Sneakers is great.
It's okay to think that that's a better version of this movie.
Yeah, it's a movie.
Okay.
Monotone guy.
Stephen Tobolowsky.
Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Am I right? Am I right?
River Phoenix.
Oh, there's a all-star cast in Sneakers. Yeah. Stands with a fist.
We've covered Sneakers. You can go listen to that right after you're done listening to this and hear about how much we love Sneakers.
Okay, before we get to next episode for Yates, do you see any through line, or is Yates? You're just saying Yates professionalism or procedure, maybe?
Well, I think his strongest works in the late 60s and 70s really lean on a lean process procedural docudrama style that makes the stuff that's happening even more suspenseful because it feels like it's lived in. I think Next Week also taps into that a lot. With some of the the montage of him working on the bike feels lived in and real and not just thrown in there. I think he's at his best with that, and I think once the 80s arrive, and we'll see with his reuniting with Tesich on Eyewitness, which is a fine movie, but the 80s, the visual style, where cinema was going mainstream, I think he was just kind of left in the dust.
Yeah, he's not enough cocaine in his 80s films, at least from a directing point of view.
And the style of films that he was so good at making with, I would say, Robbery Bullet, most of Murphy's War, Friends of Eddie Coyle, Hot Rock, and Breaking Away, I don't think are served well by where movies went.
I think in addition to all the stuff Ken said, I think with this and with something like Murphy's War, a little bit in Breaking Away, he's able to take characters who seem too silly to be real and make them real. Or with Friends of Eddie Coyle or something like that, he takes a stereotype of a character and makes them feel like really, really human people.
Yeah, I think at his best, he was just had the kind of, I know Eric on Bullet was talking about Sidney Lumet just setting up the camera and letting it go. But I think there's a great deal of skill in making it look unforced. Like if you notice editing, it's bad editing. I think the same way is for his approach for these more realistically shot films, that you don't notice it, but if you watch enough movies, you know how hard it is to capture that. It takes a lot of work to make it look easy.
Yeah.
If you had a multi-million-dollar diamond and you pooped it out, would you swallow it again?
That's probably one of the funniest, doesn't need to explain why he didn't swallow it again parts of the movie.
I did, for me, with the silliness aspect, it just seems like it would kill you to have to shit out a diamond. I mean, it seems really bad on your internal system. So when that happened, I was like, oh, this is the kind of movie we're watching. Like everything gets goofier the longer it goes. And so eventually I went with it, but that was when I realized that this was not going to be like some of Yates' other movies with that are trying to really adhere to some kind of realism all the way throughout.
Yeah. But he still shoots it that way.
Yeah, yeah.
Fun movie. Breezy.
Corny.
Yeah.
Very corny.
I mean, it ended. It made it to the end.
Yeah.
Shannon was concerned, and he actually made it to the end.
We
He's
did
walking
run
down the
out of
street.
movies.
He's not fully strutting, but he's walking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then the next year, Yates would make Friends of Eddie Coyle. There you go.
Ooh.
And then his comedy classics, For Pete's Sake and Mother Juggins' Speed.
Oh gosh. I mean, again, I just don't really know if I understand the 70s humor because I watch Mother Drugs and Speed. It's pretty rough. And there's something dark in the 70s that I just don't fully understand that maybe like manifested somehow more clearly with the catastrophe movies.
It was the lead in the gasoline, Thomas. You weren't around.
I do think, Thomas, and I mean, I think we would all agree The Long Goodbye is a more successful version of this, but the humor is really, you referred to it as situational maybe earlier, and that seems to be what it is. Like, there's not a lot of movies in the 70s outside of Woody Allen that are one-liners and like crazy characters saying and doing crazy stuff.
Or
It's
Monty
all,
Python, yeah.
Yeah, it's all like, whoa, can you believe that this henchman has such big muscles and he keeps, flexing his pecs? That's hilarious. To reference Arnold Schwarzenegger in The Long Goodbye.
Oh,
I thought you were talking about whenever the guy's wearing the mask in the elevator scene in this movie.
He could have done more pec flexing.
Okay.
Yates should have seen Long Goodbye before making this, maybe.
And the funny part of that Long Goodbye is Schwarzenegger is just there, and then the other minion is like, I don't want to take off my shirt or my pants. I don't like the way my body looks.
Yeah.
I could talk forever about the Long Goodbye, but that's not what we're here talking about.
Yeah. So let's give this a short goodbye. Ken, thanks for editing us.
You're very welcome. You're going to end up loving this movie by the end of me editing this, Thomas.
I'm sorry, guys. I checked out there for a little bit to watch Sneakers.
Shannon, thank you for joining us.
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
And you're going to be here next week as well?
Yes, I can't wait.
Wow. Ryan, thank you for the theme song.
Ooh.
Thomas, thank you for the show notes.
Of course.
Thank me for the aforementioned editing.
Good job, Ken.
Ooh. Yeah.
You just added me in saying something.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to next week. Next week's going to be a great Yates send-off with Breaking Away. Right off into the sunset.
And then we're done with hack directors.
More hacks to come, surely.
All right. Sneakers. The Hot Rock. They're basically the same movie.
For all intents and purposes, these are two identical documents.
Yep, I agree. And that's the final word.
Oh my god.
Running a temporal piston, messing around the absence in space. Time. Running a temporal piston, messing around the absence in space. Time. Running a temporal piston, messing around the absence in space. Time. Running a temporal piston, messing around the absence in space. Time. Sniff all messing around.
This is too dry and masculine for me.
Yeah, I think it's the difference between a flasher and a streaker is the amount of momentum behind them and the intent.
Toot toot.
This got really dark really fast, Ryan.
Toot toot.
The hypnotist.
Oh, Parker? Oh, Parker? Not enough cocaine in his 80s films.
We've universally agreed, this is the end of the episode, that the hot rock is as good as sneakers. Stay tuned next week for Breaking Away. Bye.
Toot toot.